Hey everyone, I came on here to make another video because I haven't made a video in a little while, and I know I need to be a little bit more consistent with my videos, and hopefully nobody comes by so I don't have to pause my video. So I just kind of wanted to make a video to talk to you guys about what I've been up to as far as CNA, agency, CMT, and what's been going on with me. I'm captioning this video, I'm going back to school, because that's what I am. I'm going back to school. So I kind of want to talk to you guys about that journey and how I think it's gonna go. I'm actually going back to school to get my LPN, which I'm really excited about. One thing that I had noticed about being a CMT is you're pretty much doing the same thing as an LPN. Like I said, I work agency, and I got a chance to dive in really heavy as a CMT and stuff. And by working as a CMT, I see everything that's going on between the CNAs, between the nurses, you name it, and stuff. And so by working so close with the nurses and stuff, like I said, we're passing like the narcs, we're passing the meds, we're doing insulin, we're doing AccuChecks, all of that. And so I'm able to see that really, excuse me, my job is no different than pretty much, I guess you could say, an LPN would be, or even, RN in a nursing home setting, long-term care setting, or assisted living setting. So I was like, I might as well go back to school because I'm pretty much doing the same thing, except for doing treatments. That's one thing I will say when it comes to CMT. We don't do treatments and stuff. So that's like, say you get an order on there for, rub niastatin powder up under someone's breast, or so rub cream on their foot, or wrap a foot, things like that. We don't do things like that. But as far as passing the meds and everything, and talking to doctors, having to order meds, talking to the pharmacy, talking to the DON, things like that, being very close. We do a lot of that stuff. For those of you that do work as a CMT, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So I got to thinking, and I was like, I wanted to go back to school. For those that don't know, I have a degree in social services, and it took me forever and a day to get that degree. So I was like, I don't want to go back to school. Like, I'm tired of it. But nursing has always been my passion. When I was a little girl, I was actually sitting around the other day, and something came up on the TV about University of Miami, and I kind of laughed about it, and it kind of, I guess you could say it ruffled my feathers, or pulled at my heartstrings, because when I was a little girl, one of my biggest things was I wanted to go to the University of Miami in Coral Gables, Florida, and I knew I was going to be the top RN in that program, and all this other stuff. I had it all planned out when I was a little girl, but as we know, life transitions and, does its own thing. So that didn't end up happening. So when I heard this on TV, I was like, But me, I'm really big on signs. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all see, I got my blessed and forgiven. I'm all about Jesus and everything. And when I heard that, I said, that has got to be a sign for really going back to school and do what you're passionate about, is nursing. Yes, I was passionate about social services, but I don't think social services I will ever be as passionate about social services as I am nursing and stuff, because that was what I wanted to do as I was a child and stuff. And so I decided to go ahead and go back for my LPN. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was going for her RN and stuff, and which I still think she's going to, but she's going to do the LPN route first, I think. And I was telling her, I said, well, we might as well just do the LPN route, because me and her, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe we have a degree in the same field, sort of speak. So we have a lot of the same credits and everything, except for with social services, you do a lot of the same credits that you do for nursing, like sociology, psychology, biology, math. The only thing that you don't take, obviously, would be AP1, AP2. You don't have to have chemistry, microbiology, things of that nature. So, me and her started looking into some RN programs, and all the programs that we found, we live in the Midwest, in the St. Louis region, is everything was starting in like pretty much like spring of 22, fall of 22, and everything. And me and her was like, God, we just want to get in, get done, whatever. We know you cannot rush when it comes to nursing, but all of these programs, are, it's a while before the program starts and stuff. So I got to thinking about it. At first, I had let it go. And so I was like, maybe it's just not for me. So then I got to thinking more and more. And I had a few friends that was going to school for their LPN and stuff. And I was turned off from LPN because I was like, oh, okay. I was turned off from LP and my windows open and stuff. So every time I hear him, I'm like, what is that? So I was turned off from LPN because I was like, by working agency, I make the same amount of money that an LPN makes and stuff. So I was turned off by it. But as I began working as a CMT, I was like, I'm doing the same duties as an LPN, but I'm making less money than them, especially when you work agency. I'm talking from an agency perspective. When you work agency, that same nurse, like I said, not to take anything away from them, you're passing, just think about it, you're passing the pills. At some facilities, you're passing the darks. I'm also insulin certified, so I can do AccuChecks, I can do insulin, Novolog, Lantus, all of that stuff. And it's just one of the type of things where you're like, this nurse, not taking away from her, please don't, nobody get offended, not taking away from her, that she's being paid like $15-$20 more than me, and I'm doing all of this work, and I have to count my meds with the nurse and everything. When we do a shift to change, I can't leave. Like when the CNAs, when their shift is over, boom, they're out the door. I have to stay there, and if I'm able to count nurses at the facility, I have to stay there, wait on the nurse, just like the nurse is waiting on the other nurse, or wait on the other CMT so I can count my meds with her. I can't hand my keys off to Joe Blow because I'm signed off on these narcs. I need to count with you and stuff. So not only that, and then also I'm doing all of this work or whatever, and the nurses there just had the treatments. Like I said, they're making this $15-$20 depending on what the deal is, what agency they work for. So I was like, I might as well go back. Nursing has always been a part of my life. And then also I had thought about, my daughter is 13 years old, and I really enjoy travel nursing. I really enjoy agency. And I got a bit of a glimpse of travel nursing before I became a CMT. I was kind of traveling. Well, before I became a CMT, and then also before I got hooked on with the company that I'm with and stuff, I got a glimpse of traveling. I was going maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours away, and I really liked it. I was like, man, I like to be able to travel, even though a lot of the places that I was traveling to, it was a lot of like country areas and stuff, so a lot of cornfields and all of that. But I was like, man, I really like this. And then I joined some like nursing groups and stuff, like CNA, LPN travel groups, and I'm like, boy, they got all these contracts. Especially when COVID hit, it was all of these like contracts making 10,000 and 5,000, just a crazy amount of money in a week or whatever and stuff. For LPNs and RNs to come and help out with the COVID, or even before COVID, that money was still available for LPNs and RNs to make this money. If you went to Hawaii, heck yeah, I'll go to Hawaii and make that money and be able to see the palm trees or whatever's in Hawaii, and the beaches, or go to California, or go to New York, all expenses paid, and all that. I know it's a lot that comes with being a travel nurse and this and that. It's not just, go vacation, go work, whatever, but that is about a majority of it and stuff though. So I got to thinking, I was like, I am a single person. I'm a single woman. I'm 32. I don't know if I've ever told you guys my age, but I'm 32, and I do have a 13-year-old daughter. And I have been seeing somebody for a little while, but like they say, you're single until you're married. So my daughter's 13, and I just, have kind of thought to myself, I was like, I really want to, travel. You know what I mean? And so once she gets older and stuff, and graduates high school, she's my only child at that and stuff. And I was like, I really want to travel. And so, especially if I'm not married, and, I don't plan on having any more kids, but I don't know what life could take. I'm done trying to figure out what life will bring. I'm just going with the punches. I'm trying to control what I can. So that's a tip for you guys. Don't even try to control your life. Just control the areas that you can. But anything else, let your higher power, whatever you do, whatever you believe, let them go with that and stuff. So if I'm not married or have any kids or anything, then I do think I'll probably end up traveling just to kind of see the world and this and that and stuff. So I was like, I really want to get into travel nursing and stuff. And I said, well, the only way, even though I can do it as a CNA, but to make the biggest amount of money and stuff, and I'm a girly girl and stuff, so I like nice things and all that other stuff. And so, in order for me to make the biggest amount of money, I need to up my credentials. You know what I mean? So I decided to go ahead and go back for my LPN, and then going back in January, I have a dream board. I'm sure you guys heard of a dream board, or some people call them a vision board. And um what I did, me and my family, we all got together and we made these like dream board, vision boards, whatever you want to call them and stuff. And one of my goals was to save $1,000. That was one of my yearly goals, to save $1,000 throughout the whole year. I don't care if I was making $20 this month, $20 next month, $5 this month. It was going in the savings account to equal up to $1,000. Well, what ended up happening was I ended up I just started saving money. Once I hit $1,000, I was like, okay, cool. I beat my goal. So that was back in January. So about February, I was I just kept on saving. I just kept on putting money in this savings account and stuff. And I'll give you guys a hint on, not a hint, but I'll give you guys a tip on how I ended up doing that to keep myself disciplined and stuff. So I kept on putting money inside of my savings account, and I started to get discouraged. And so I was like, Leah, what are you saving for? You know what I mean? I get it that I'm 32 and I should have some emergency money to fall back on or whatever the case may be. But by working agency, I'm not saying that, things can't go wrong with my car where I'm going to need the $1,000 and this and that versus, by working agency, okay, now I got to run out and work a couple shifts to get $1,000. So it's better to have a savings account. So, and just to let you guys know, both of my cars, I had to get emissions tests done on them. I had to get some work done on them and stuff though. So both of my cars were fine. My bills were paid, and I started getting discouraged. Like, really, I was like, what am I saving for? Like, what am I doing? Am I saving so I can shop? Like, I still shop on Amazon. Like, what am I saving for? I started getting discouraged and stuff. And I don't want to bring religion too much into this, but I believe that had a lot to do with the devil, because another thing that was on my vision board was for me to be able to hear God's voice more clearly. That was one of my like things on my vision board, to be able to hear God's voice more clearly in my life and stuff. So I believe that I do. I mean, I'm sorry if you guys don't believe in stuff like that, but I will say, I was like, when I started to get discouraged from what my goals was, I was like, okay, maybe, this is the devil or whoever trying to get into my mind and stuff. So I was just like, okay, boom, let me get that off my shoulder, whatever. And I was like, I'm just going to keep on saving money. And so March, I guess it was, hit or whatever, and me and my friends started talking about going back to school. Again, I started thinking about going back to school about sometime last year, the middle of last year, but I never really played on it or whatever. It was just a thought, and I was like, well, I'm just going to go for my RN and, do all these prereqs or whatever. So when me and my friend this year in March started talking about going back to school and stuff, like I told you guys the story, I was just like, we might as well go for our LPN, because me and her have all of these credits. The reason we decided to go LPN route versus RN route is because, like I said, a lot of the RN programs that we found, they were not starting up until spring of 22. So we didn't want to wait. She's 30, I'm 32, I'll be 33 in December. So by the time we even got into the program, we were going to be 30, almost 32 and almost 34. Yeah, maybe, possibly, something like that and stuff, like the edge of 34 and stuff. So we both was just like, no, yeah, I think I would be turning 35, whatever. But I was like, no, I don't really want to wait that long and stuff. So I told her, I was like, conversation, this is how it went. I was like, girl, we might as well do our LPN. And I said, at least one thing that we understood was with agency, like I told you guys, CNAs make what LPNs make, LPNs make what RNs make, and RNs make whatever the next level for them to make is when you work agency. So I had told her, I was like, well, at least if we went LPN route, we could still be making the same amount of money that we make as CNAs, while in the program, or if we decide not to go along with the program, at least we'll be able to still keep up with the lifestyle that we live as CNAs and stuff. And so I'm not saying that, agency's going anywhere, but if something does happen to LPN or whatever the case, or CNA or whatever, or agency more so, not CNA and stuff, then we'll still be able to keep up with the lifestyles that we make while working agency and stuff. So financially. And so she was like, yeah, that does make sense and stuff. And I told her another thing is too, is that by us already being LPNs, as you guys know, I'm sure by you guys watching this video, a lot of you guys are in the medical field, that it is competitive to get into these RN programs. I mean, they're highly competitive to get into. So I was telling her, like, I had went down to go see my admissions counselor, guidance counselor, whatever you call them, and stuff at the academics counselor at the college, at the community college I was thinking about going to. And the girl was telling me, she was like, oh, okay, you have a lot of the credits to get into the nursing program, except for the classes that you need for nursing. And so basically I did not have chemistry because I took social services. I took my class for social services. So I didn't have chemistry. I didn't have AP1, AP2, microbiology, things of that nature. But I did have like English 1, English 2, sociology, psychology, what do you call it, electives and this and that. So I was good in that area. So if you guys have ever heard, there's a term that people use in college. It's called C's get degrees. When I got my degree back in 2016, I was 29 years old. And like I said, it took me forever just to get that degree and stuff. So I was the spokesperson for C's get degrees. So the girl had asked me, she was like, if you applied to the nursing program here at the community college, would you be willing to take some of your prereqs again? And I said, no. I didn't want to take them in the first place. And if I have to sit through ethics again, somebody's gonna get it. So, I left there, and I was a little bit happy, but I was content, but I was a little bit discouraged too, because I was like, man, because when it comes to community college and stuff, to get into a lot of RN programs, like I said, it's competitive. With this college, they go off of a point system. So if you say have a C in psychology, or if I have a C in psychology and you got to be in psychology, you're going to get more points because that grade letter is higher than mine. So doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get in and I won't get in, but you have a better chance of getting in. Let's say you have a in English and I have a C in English or whatever the case may be. You're going to get more points. Even though they don't have nothing to do with nursing and stuff, you're going to get in before me because of your points on top of the points that you score with your entrance exam, and so, which is the TIPssssss test. And if anybody knows anything about the TIPssssss test, it's tough. There's groups out on Facebook for the ATI's TIPssssss exam, and it is a tough exam and stuff. So I got to talking to her about that and stuff, and I said, girl, this is my conversation. I'm being real with you guys. I was like, girl, we might as well just do our LPN and stuff, because I was never against LPN, but I just, just never really thought about it because I already had these college credits and stuff. So I said we might as well do our LPN and stuff, because then we can do a bridge program. So I'm sure you guys heard of bridge programs. Bridge programs is when you're already an LPN and you bridge over to the RN. So pretty much you've done a lot of your nursing and your theory and this and that classes. There may be some classes that you have to take, especially if you go through a community college or a university or something, that say when you do LPN, you don't have to take chemistry, but when you do RN at a community college or university, you may have to take chemistry, but you don't have to take those other nursing classes or whatever the case may be. So my chances of being able to get into an RN program would be a lot higher because I am technically already a nurse being an LPN. So I don't have to go through all of that point system and, this and that and stuff. So I would fall into a different category because I'm already a nurse and stuff. So I had told her, I was like, we might as well get our LPNs, and it would be a lot easier to be able to bridge over. So she was like, yeah, that's cool. And I told her, we were talking about some different programs in the area. This is my smoothie. I'll tell you guys about my smoothie soon. But I was telling her, we were talking about some different LPN programs in the area, that we saw some that were 18 months, 15, and 11. The one that we're actually going to is 11 months and stuff. And I'm really excited about it. I really am, because like I said, I will be 33 in December, and I'm tired of school. I really am. I'm really tired of school, but nursing will always be my passion. So I'm tired of school, but I'm not gonna be lazy about it either and stuff, because this is ultimately my passion. And I told myself when I worked in social services that I would never work in social services again until I follow my passion. So what I mean by that is, when you become an LPN, you can be a case manager. So with hospice or something like that. So even once I prayerfully become an LPN, I will be able to use my associate's degree in social services and be a LPN case manager. So that's what I kind of plan on doing. We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to, speak into the future or whatever, but we'll see and stuff. So my passion right now is the LPN case manager and travel nursing and this and that. My plan, hopefully, we'll see, will be to work at long-term care facility for about a year to get that experience in, plus work in agency. A lot of times they want you to work long-term care for about a year to get some experience, which I plan on doing and stuff. I'm not gonna jump in like I did with my CMT. I don't think so anyway, and stuff, because I want to gain some like experience and stuff. Before I just jump in and start work, because passing pills is totally different than messing with somebody, say G-tube or whatever the case may be, I think. So yeah, so I'm gonna tell you guys some things I've been doing to prepare. I'll talk about my smoothie in a minute, because I'm still on my weight loss kick, y'all, and I've lost about 10 pounds since January. I know it's cool. Even though it's been 6 months, I lost 10 pounds, but I fell on and fell off though. But I'll tell you all about that in a minute. But I'm gonna tell you guys some things I've been doing to prepare to get ready for my LPN program. I was going to be going, I found a program, just going back, I found a program that started in September, and I was so excited about it because it was only 20 minutes from where I live at. But they decided not to start that program until fall of 2021. And I'm like, no, I ain't got time for that. Whatever. So I'm going to a different program or whatever. That's about 51 minutes from my house. But because of the way I can drive to it, it's a lot of back roads and stuff. So it's not actually a bad drive. So I was a little bit disappointed that I could not start in September, but I'm starting in January, which is okay, because one of the things that I had decided to do was with my savings account. We'll talk about that. The savings account was, I decided that in order for me to get done with this program and be able to focus on this program and still be able to be a mom, is I decided not to work. And I know that's not realistic for everybody, but what I did was, with the savings account, I just kept on saving and saving. And I don't mind sharing numbers with you guys, that I live in Illinois, so it's a little bit cheaper in Illinois, especially where I live at and stuff. So I pay $670 a month for my 2-bedroom duplex that I live in and stuff. And so I thought about it, and I said, I wonder how much a year worth of rent would be. $670 times 12 is $8,040. So I messaged my landlord, and I had asked him, I was like, hey, I've been thinking about going back to school, this nursing program. At the time, I thought I was going to get to the one in September. I was like, hey, it starts up in September. Would you be okay with me paying a year worth of rent so I can focus on school? I have a private landlord too. And so private landlords and, public landlords, whatever, some big companies, they don't mind. They just want their money and stuff, though. But you just have to communicate with that and see how that works out and stuff. And he was like, well, I've had people, pay a couple months or whatever, because I live close to a military base too. I'm not military, but I live close to a military base. So a lot of times he was saying that people pay a couple months up, I guess, when they go off on deployment, I don't know, and stuff. And he was like, yeah, I don't mind you doing that, whatever. So I don't know if I'll pay the whole year up right away, or if I'm just going to pay, say, 3 months, whatever, here or there and stuff, though. So that's the one thing I decided to take. I'm going to take a year off of school, and I'm going to take a year off of work so I can just focus on the program. So that is a tip or some advice for anybody, especially single parent, that's thinking about going back to school. Before you go back to school, And especially if you work agency has truly been a blessing for me because I've been able to save. I've been able to make more money. I don't know if I told you guys I had stopped working weekends, but I recently just picked up weekends again so I could, make that extra money and stuff on the weekends so I could throw it in my savings account and stuff. But I don't think I'm going to be working Sundays because I really like being off Sundays because that's like my Jesus time. I went to work and I was trying to listen to like the sermon, and I could not focus on my sermon and pass my meds at the same time. And I found myself getting frustrated that I couldn't listen to the church sermon. And I was like, this ain't gonna work. Like I'm passing people's meds and narcotics and stuff and whatever case may be, and I'm trying to listen to the word and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna work weekends, but I'm not working Sundays no more. So, and plus I still wanted that time to myself also. So like I said, that's a tip. If you guys are thinking about going back to school, before you just dive on in and stuff, take some time if you can and save up some money to either pay your rent up. If your program is 10 months, say 5 months worth of rent, like if it's 10, I'm just throwing a number out there. If it's, say 5 months of rent, if it's 18 months and stuff, say 9 months of rent and stuff. So that way, you're not struggling throughout your whole program. You're not trying to work full time to come up with your rent money and your power bill and your water bill and your gas and all this other stuff. Also, while trying to figure out how many milliliters, goes in this valve or whatever the case may be and stuff. So that was one of my things for me. I said, there's no way I'm going to be able to work and focus on this intense program because the program, a lot of your LPN and LVN programs are Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday. You got clinicals and stuff. There's no way. I've heard, it's doable. There's people who, they work evening shift, they work night shift, they leave school, they go to work for a couple hours, they work just strictly weekends. I'm like, no, I can't do that because that's when I will become unmotivated, sad as it may sound. And so I told you guys, I'm not thrilled. I mean, who's thrilled about going back to school in their 30s? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But especially when they have already earned one degree and it was a struggle, especially being a single parent to get there and stuff. I'm not saying I'm very excited about going, by meeting my passion. You know what I'm saying? But who's excited about studying? Who's excited about taking tests again? You know what I mean? Who's excited about grades again? I don't know, So I was like, the only way I'm going to be able to do this is to be able to not work. And if I do work, it's only going to be for like, say, fun money. So my plan was to save the $8,040. And after I did that, I took time out and I just wrote. I was like, okay, if I put X amount of dollars in my account a week, I'll be able to get to $8,040 by this amount of time, which it had rang up to about September because of based on the money I already had inside my savings account already. So like I said, if you're thinking about, my foot is falling asleep, y'all. If you're thinking about going back to school or whatever, save some money for whatever, if your rent is paid or, you can get assistance, whatever the case may be and stuff, save some money to fall back on just in case you have some trouble with your car, whatever. So I'm saving, I should be done saving for my year rent fund in probably July. It was September, but I added some extra money into my account. So I should be done by end of July, whatever. I don't know. No rush since I don't, I'm not starting until January anyway. So, but another thing I decided to do was I wanted to be able to put a large lump sum of money on my utilities. So my power bill, my water bill, we don't pay gas here and stuff. So basically, our electric power and water bill. So I said, okay. So after I saved the $8,040, I also want to be able to save close to $2,500 to $3,000 also, so I could be able to, like I said, put credits on my water bill, my power bill. So any extra money, if I do decide to pick up a shift through agency or whatever, it'll be like for, if my daughter needs something or if I need something or gas, food, fun money, you know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing I think that people get discouraged about when it comes to going to school. You're like, God, I want to go to school, but I'm not going to have a life. And even though people say, let's sacrifice a year, for a different lifestyle, yeah, that's cool, but we're human. You still want to be able to go to Applebee's and get a 2 for $20. You know what I mean? I don't want somebody to be like, girl, I know you in school, but you ain't even got money for a 2 for $20. That's not a good thing. I don't want to diminish all of my things that I was doing beforehand and stuff. Yes, I mean, I know it's a sacrifice for a bigger picture, so I decided that I'm going to pay up a lot of my bills. So if I do want to go out one day, wow, because you do get breaks when you're in school. You get like a little small winter break. You just have to look into your school. There is holidays that you get off, like Martin Luther King Day, Easter, Good Friday, things like that and stuff. So if my friends want to go out and do something, I want to be able to have that money to do that and stuff, and not worry like, oh God, I'm eating a 2 for $20 when I really need to be putting that money on my power bill. You know what I mean? I don't want to think about stuff like that. And so I just want this to be a smooth process. And that, like I said, I keep on saying this is some advice, but that is some true advice for you guys. Before you decide to go, take your time, plan it out, sit down. Like I said, I'm a big planner girl. I love my planner and my notebook and stuff. Write it out. Write that whole year out and what it's going to look like. Paint yourself a picture. Don't just think about it in your head. Put it down on paper and say, this is what I want. This is what I want to do and stuff. So you write your rent out. Can I pay 6 months up a rent and then be able to just focus on school? Let's say your program's 12 months, then the other 12 months, are you okay with going ahead after you deplenish that 6 months paid up a rent? Here though, the other 6 months, are you okay with working to pay rent and go to school now? Even though it's only 6 months left. You have to do what works for you. You have to figure out what kind of studier you are. You have to figure out what kind of learner you are. So that's the main thing. So take some time out before you decide to go to school. I say a year. I honestly say that because if you do a year, at least you can save up rent. You know what I'm saying? If rent is not an issue or whatever the case may be, save up some money just in case cars break down, oil changes, whatever the case may be, things like that. So moving on, I'm going to talk about the next thing that I had decided to do. So to prepare for me to get ready for school. Another tip is I went on the school's website that I'm going to be going to, and I looked at what they're going to be studying. And some of the things, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Some of the things that they're going to be studying is, here it is right here. They're going to be studying nursing fundamentals, working relationships, med surg, pediatrics, maternity nursing, growth and development, anatomy, microbiology, pharmacology, mental health nursing, nutrition, and community health. So I had to think about what I struggle in. And two of the things I struggle in is math and science. So I said, okay, Relia, you need to everybody likes babies. So everybody's in tune when it comes to maternity and pregnancy and, what else is people into? Nutrition, growth and development, pediatrics, anything that deals with babies. When you're a little girl or whatever and stuff, you tend to think, I want to be a nurse because I want to deal with the babies. People don't think of elderly or geriatrics or oncology, cancer, things like that. They don't think about that. They think of babies a lot of the times and stuff. So we're instantly, when it's time to talk about that section as far as pediatrics, we're all in tune. We're like, okay, what's going on with the babies? Tell me about it. I want to hear about this and this and that. But when it comes to talking about nursing fundamentals or dosage calculations, we're like, oh God, I don't want to hear about this. Or what's the name of that bone in your big toe called? Or what's that bone in your pinky finger called? We're all tuned out. And that's the way that I am. I hate science. I really do. And that's what comes along with anatomy and physiology. So I told myself that because math and science were not my strongest points, I need to focus on math and science. So what I did was I went online, and you guys can do this too. Get on Facebook, yard sale, or it's called Marketplace. And I went on there and I looked for books and stuff. So this is dosage calculations and stuff made easily. I don't know if they'll be using this book in the program But I do know by being a nurse, you do learn dosage calculations and stuff. So I went online and I found this book, and it's in really, can you guys see the shape? It's in really good condition. No marks, no pencil marks, no highlights or anything in this book. Not saying that all books will come like that, but I paid like $3.98 on this, and I got it from a website called Second Sale. Second Sale, just Google Second Sale. Second Sale, SECONDSALE, Second Sale. And it's a book, it's a textbook site and stuff. And I just typed in the book, type of book I was looking for and stuff. And I found this book. And so I was like, okay, I'll be able to learn dosage calculations on my own. Math is not my strong point. So what do I need to focus on? I need to focus on math and stuff. So that way, because this is June, so I have June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. I have 8 months until my program starts. So I have 8 months to learn, to kind of teach myself and become familiar with the material, versus I ain't worried about math. I'm not worried about science. And then once I get into the program, I'm struggling because I not only do I have to learn this, not only am I not interested in this, I got a test, probably a test or two to do on this that's going to determine if I pass on to the next section. So it's better for you to study the subjects you don't like, that you know you're probably going to have in your program, so that way when the teacher gets to talking, you're not a deer in the headlights. So you're like, oh my god, I'm having anxiety because I hate this, I don't understand it. Even if you don't necessarily remember it, you're familiar with it. So when they say how many tablets should Curly Sue get, you already know how to do that formula and stuff, which we already know is I don't know if you know, but I've learned this. It's the desired dose and the, what is it? And how much is on hand, times the route or whatever. I hope so. But if not, just look in your book and stuff. I've been, self-teaching myself and stuff though. So desired dose divided by the on hand amount times the volume, the route, whatever you want to call it, the vehicle, that's what it's called, the vehicle, and so, which is your route and stuff. And so anyway, you really want to focus on where you struggle at. Another thing is, I went on Amazon and I had bought these books right here. This book right here is called Anatomy and Physiology for Dummies and stuff, and it's really been a help. And so I've been really studying out of this book and stuff, just reading, getting myself familiar with the material. I'm not sitting there reading frontal plane divides the body and organ into anterior and posterior proportions, think front back. I'm taking notes. Yes, I am. That's another thing right here. I went on Amazon and I bought 2 of these notebooks for like $11. My notebook is in there. I didn't want to get it messy or wrinkly or whatever. But I bought 2 of these right here. And they're 5 subject notebooks or whatever. And I use each section for, like, say, in my other notebook that I'm actively using, it says like dosage calculation. So I'll do a section on dosage calculation. And then the next section I have will be like, say, AP on this one. The next one I have will be maternity. The next one I have is, pediatrics. I don't combine my pediatrics, my dosage, all of that into one. I break it down by sections and stuff, whatever. So going back to the book, because I don't want to confuse you guys and stuff. I know I'm talking all over. I went on Amazon and I got this book here and stuff. So I've been reading this book. And then I also went and I got the workbook. You don't have to get the workbook, but they were really cheap. I think I paid like $20 total for both of these books and stuff. And I've been, I'm more of a hands-on kind of learner. So I can read and I can retain the information, but it's better for me to be able to read it and also be able to go inside the workbook and, you know, label stuff, you know, and do little quizzes and stuff, things of that nature. I also went on Facebook yard sale and I typed in anatomy and physiology books. People are selling their books. When people graduate from nursing school, they got all these textbooks like laying around, especially if they didn't sell them back and stuff. So I went on there and I bought a anatomy and physiology book. People are selling their books, like I said, left and right, so you can buy them for dirt cheap, or if not free and stuff. I think I paid, like, somebody sold me this book for $20 or whatever, and this is an actual anatomy and physiology book and stuff. So another thing that I do is I get on YouTube and I look up, say, I type in anatomy and physiology chapter 1 and stuff, and I just follow along and stuff. And I found one lady, her name is Mandi Parker. She is amazing. And luckily, it was crazy because this book that I have, I don't know if she's teaching off the same book, I don't know, but a lot of anatomy and physiology books don't change and stuff, you know, maybe some wording or some jargon or whatever, but it does not change. So I was going along with this video, and then she was like, okay, let's skip to chapter 4 after chapter 1, because chapter 2 and 3 talks about, like, it's more the mitochondria, cell membranes, and that stuff that you should have learned in biology. So she goes, okay, let's turn to chapter 4, because I was looking for chapter 2 and 3's videos, but I couldn't find them. But she was like, let's turn to chapter 4, and we should be talking about tissues. So I look at my book, and I turn to chapter 4. Chapter 4 was about tissues. And I was like, yes, I found somebody I can follow along with and this and that. So I've been watching a lot of her videos and just going along with the textbook and stuff, and just really self-teaching on top of allowing her to teach me too. If you guys want to know, I'll tag her. I can't tag, but I'll put her in the comments of her name. She's on YouTube. Mandi, it's MANDI, not Y, MANDI Parker. And just type in Mandi Parker Anatomy and Physiology Chapter 1. And she has like a buttload of different videos. And I'm so excited because she breaks it down. She don't talk like, and I think she's a doctor. I think her actual name is Dr. Mandi Parker. But she talks so, if I had to say the grade level she speaks in, it's probably like 8th grade, 9th grade level. So it's really understandable to be able to and follow along where she's at and stuff though. So that's a tip for you guys. If you're getting ready to start a program soon, you don't have your books and stuff, go on your school website and see what classes you're going to be taking and stuff, especially. And then another thing is, a lot of community colleges have syllabus, so maybe you can ask to get a copy of a syllabus. If you can't, because I've been trying to get one, but my school does not have one. But they do have what we're going to be learning, the curriculum. So I was like, okay, well, let me get me a nutrition book. Let me get me an AP book. Let me get me a pediatric book and stuff, you know. And then also type around on Facebook and stuff. Type in your college. There's people that went there and stuff, you know. So I had typed in the name of my school that I'm going into, and I found people that graduated from there and stuff. So I went on there and I went creeping around on their pages, and I seen somebody had posted up their whole list of books and stuff. So I went on to secondsale.com, whatever it is, and stuff, and I started looking for them books and stuff. And so I ordered some. So I could just kind of, you know, follow along and stuff. So that, you know, those are some tips of, you know, preparing yourself to go back to school. You know, when you make up your mind that this is what you want to do, you have to, you know, school is like a child, they say. You have to take care of it. You have to nurture it. You have to raise it. You have to, like a child, just pretend like you have a second, third, fourth, fifth child, whatever you guys have and stuff, and just know, okay, I got to take time out for my child. You know what I'm saying? I have to, you know, take time out and study. That's just what it is. And that was one of my things about school. I was like, I'm not going back to school because that's like another kid. I only have one kid. And guess what? She's 13. She does her thing. You know what I mean? So I don't have time to act like school is another newborn and stuff. But when you want something, you have to go for it. So that's my thing about me going back to school. I'm excited about it. I've always wanted to be a nurse and stuff. I am excited because my LPN is really going to give me a stepping stone to be an RN and stuff if I decide to go back. And even if I wanted to take my time and stuff, because I'll still have to complete, my chemistry. Even though you take AP1 and AP2, a lot of times with LPNs you take AP1, but I may have to take at a community college AP1 and AP2 and stuff. At least I'm already there, So in reality, if I really want to go for my RN, I only have about 4 classes that I have to complete, and then I have to take the entrance exam and try to get in to the competitive of a nursing program. Not saying that it wouldn't happen, but it's just highly competitive. So yeah, so that's that. If you guys have any questions, any comments, let me know. Just leave them. I don't care. Anything. So we're gonna talk about my smoothie just to kind of flip the topic because I'm already at 45 minutes and stuff though. This is my smoothie right here. It has ice in. I made it with ice, strawberries, blueberries. I'm on a new detox tea, and some I'm sure a lot of you guys probably heard of it. If you haven't, it's called Iaso, IASO tea, and it's a detox tea. It makes you go to the bathroom. Like I said, since January, I've lost 10 pounds, but I was not heavy on my diet. I have not been working out the way that I need to be. I'm going to actually start walking. I told my daughter, I had texted her the other night, I'm like, we're gonna start walking when you come home. She's with her dad right now. And so just being able to move for 45 minutes, I'm sorry. And just to make my body more active, even though I'm doing a lot of walking and running around and pushing the med cart when I'm at work and stuff. And then some days I still work as a CNA and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But that's one thing I will say about the CNA and CMT. You don't get as much physical activity as a CMT as you do as a CNA. CNA, we all know you're lifting, pulling, tugging, rolling. You know what I'm saying? It's constant go. But as a CMT, you're standing at the med cart and all this other stuff. So yeah, my smoothie has been like my thing. I had lunch earlier and I really didn't eat all that great. So I made a smoothie. This is gonna be the only thing I'm gonna have. I'm done eating. What time is it? It's 6:04. So I'm kind of having my smoothie a little early. I probably should have made my smoothie around 6 or 7. Now between now and 7 o'clock and stuff. That way it could last me the whole night. So, but that's okay. So my smoothie, like I said, it's ice, strawberry, blueberries. I have a hair, skin, and nail peel in here. I have a packet. It's just about this big of the detox tea. I have my probiotic in there because you should be having a probiotic daily that deals with your gut health. And then I put a lemon packet in it, guys. Oh God, my smoothie, it has a tangy taste. It would have been good, and I'm not even big on chocolate. Like everybody knows, I'm not big on chocolate. I love like white chocolate. Milk chocolate's okay, but I'm just not a big chocolate fan at all and stuff. I can do white chocolate, but I don't like chocolate really. And so I was like, okay, I just want to try something different. I had bought these greens from ItWorks or whatever. It's a company called ItWorks, and they sent me the wrong greens. They sent me chocolate greens, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna deal with them. I can always make me a chocolate strawberry smoothie or blueberry chocolate smoothie, whatever, something, or chocolate shake or something, whatever the case may be, by using the greens. And the greens is your, I would go get them, but I don't feel like it. But it's your 8 servings of fruits and vegetables and this and that in a chocolate form and stuff. And then I also have super reds, which is again your 8 servings of fruits and vegetables, but a more powerful burst of it in a berry flavor. And I've been drinking the berry flavor so much, I'm getting to my point where I'm getting discouraged from making my smoothie. So I was like, okay, I need to switch these flavors up. I just ordered some super greens in the mail that are berry flavored and stuff because I don't want to get too discouraged by drinking the chocolate, knowing I'm not a big chocolate fan. Anyway, so I ended up putting a lemon pack inside of my smoothie today, and it's making my smoothie taste tangy. That's why, if you guys see, it's watery. My smoothie was real thick and stuff. It's taking me forever to drink it, but I'm trying to get it down because it has my detox tea in it. But it just tastes tangy. Imagine having a chocolate shake with a squirt of lemon in it. It's not all that great. It's weird. I don't know what I was so used to making my lemon, my super reds, which is berry flavored, and putting, say, my 0 calorie sugar free water, my Crystal Light water enhancer inside of it, to the point where it was just, I guess, what do you call that? I don't know what it's called. It was just routine for me to put the lemon packet in my smoothie and stuff. So now my chocolate smoothie tastes lemony. So originally my chocolate smoothie was gonna taste like what do you call those cherry cardals or so, or whatever you call them and stuff, or chocolate covered strawberries. That's the point I was going for. Chocolate covered strawberries or chocolate covered blueberries. And I got a chocolate covered strawberry blueberry with a lemon twist to it. It's not bad, but it'll never happen again. Okay. So yeah, so I've been making smoothies, and I've been kind of trying to transition. Like I said, if I have a big meal, like breakfast is my thing. I love breakfast food. So whenever I go to work, and they say you should always eat breakfast because that's what gets your metabolism revving and stuff, I eat my breakfast. Sometimes I don't have time for lunch, and I'll come home and I'll make my smoothie. The smoothie is a good thing to hold you over. When you come home and you're like, oh, I want a hamburger, I want a cheeseburger, make a smoothie. Make a smoothie. That's why I say switch your smoothies up so you don't get bored with them, where you're like, oh no, I'm sick of super reds, or I'm sick of fruity tasting. Change them up and stuff, so that way you'll always be motivated when you got that craving for a McDonald's cheeseburger or something. Make a smoothie instead. So yeah, so that's all I've been up to. I've been trying to lose weight. I've been letting my body do its own thing and stuff. I've been drinking water. I found out at the dollar store that they sell these 50.7 ounce waters and stuff, and so I bought a couple of those to get my water intake in. I do need to start working out so I can go ahead and drop some more weight and stuff, but my weight is coming off of me slowly, and so I'm happy. I'm done stressing about things that, even though weight is something you can control, but I'm done stressing about, I guess you could say, the scale. I jump on the scale and I'm like, oh God, I've been eating good all week and this and that, and I've only lost 2 ounces or whatever the case may be. I'm letting my body do its own thing, and I can definitely see the changes and stuff, from even by taking my probiotic, by feeling less bloated and my clothes fitting better, me being more comfortable and this and that and stuff though. So yeah, but that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about and stuff, and I know I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm at 52 minutes already. But if you guys have any questions, comments, let me know. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and stuff. And I'll talk to you guys later. And I'm going to hope to put more videos up. Please let me know what you guys want me to talk about and stuff. And as I learn more, I'll let you guys know more. All right, you guys have a good day. Peace out.